Hello, welcome to my channel. It has been a little while. I'm Karlene. In this video, we are going thrift shopping. I'm going to show you a couple of new things that I've got for my kitchen. We're going to check out a local nursery, and then we're going to head back into the kitchen to prepare a make-ahead lunch for the working week and the make-ahead breakfast as well. Stick around to the end where I'll be sharing an update with you on where I have been for the last 2 months, update for my channel moving forward, and I'll also be sharing a highlights reel from summer, enjoying the beautiful sunshine as we are now heading into our cooler months here. So let's get into today's video. With the weather cooling down recently, I had some things on my list that I wanted to keep an eye for. I did get distracted by those boots. They were a beautiful color, but a size too small, unfortunately. And I loved that cardi, but it was a little bit too big for me. On my list was some hobby craft type items that I could do in the evening, so I'm not spending so much time on my phone. Something that I could sit up in bed or, have a cup of hot tea or hot chocolate and, do something creative, keep my hands and my mind busy. I regret not getting those gingham mugs. Oh my gosh, Schmarlene's in the building. Get it together, Karlene. When I visit a thrift store, I cannot help myself. I am a sucker for books, all things creative. I just appreciate the pastimes where homemakers would make everything from scratch. And there are some art forms that I just feel like, we don't talk about anymore. Like, hey, can you ribbon embroider? Can you embroider with ribbon? Did you know that you could do that? Like, I didn't think about doing that, but there's this cool book that I found that can teach me how. Stump work embroidery? Like, what's that? I want to know what that is. I find that you can get so much inspiration just flicking through the pages of old books like this, as opposed to, scrolling on Pinterest or, on Instagram to get some inspo, because sometimes what you see is kind of same, or same but slightly different. What do you think? Comment below and share with me a craft idea that you've discovered, or perhaps a twist on an old favorite recipe, maybe a food preservation idea that you've come across that you never would have thought of if you hadn't have stumbled across that book. Another section I love to inspect is the sewing patterns. I really loved the look of this. I was thinking of altering it into like an apron dress so that I can just throw on a full-sized apron and cover up my outfit for the day and be able to get into the garden and the kitchen and the laundry and not ruin my clothes. But I'm not sure I'm that skilled to commit to that pattern just yet. I tried to find a date on this because I feel like this linen looking vest pant idea is like 90s, but it's come back in fashion, and I tried to find a year that this pattern is from, because it doesn't look new, but what they say, everything sort of comes around again when it comes to fashion and what's on trend. Now that we're finished with our thrift finds, we're going to head close by and we're going to check out a nursery. Loved that sign, I felt like that was so true. And I'm looking for some seeded potatoes, so I am going to share in an upcoming video the establishment of our little veggie patch. It's coming on to autumn, winter here, but I feel like it's so hot all the time. We can still grow things here even though the weather is cooler. In fact, maybe things won't die because they're so sunburnt and dry. We'll see. Watch this space for a garden and harvest update. So this is the next day because, to be honest, I was pretty tired after that morning out and it was kind of hot. So I went and had a nap instead. Welcome back. And I got this lamp for $5. I was so happy when I found it because I want to try and make things nice and cozy at home. I will be doing a little update for the lampshade. I'm thinking maybe a pleated style. I kind of wanted something that looked a bit antique-y, kind of vintage. So I feel like I nailed that for $5. And yes, I still have my Valentine's Day decor out because, let's be honest, I'm still tired. Look at that. I was like 18 in that photo. Young love. That was the first gift I think he got me, actually. I shared these in one of my last videos from the kidney shop. I think they were like $2 for the tall one, $1 for the small one. And I picked up these, 2 of them for $10 off a Facebook marketplace, thinking they were going to be really like cheap, kind of like poor quality. I was going to paint them gold like this. Let me just insert a clip. I wanted them to be this color, like a matte sort of gold finish. So it's like a warm sort of color as opposed to silver. But when I picked them up, they were actually really great quality. Like they're probably someone's great grandma's wedding gift or something, and I feel bad painting them. What do you think? Should I paint them or no? Comment below and let me know what you vote for. Over in the kitchen is where I have been the busiest collecting things. So I got this basket from that thrift store for $2. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll get there. I found this little salt and pepper keeper from, brand new of course. I have been collecting things from all over the place for my kitchen. From, I think it's called House, or is it called Home? I get them mixed up, but I'll link it below in case you want to find one too. I got it on sale for like $9.99. I was going to get one of those little egg things where you can just sprinkle salt on your cooking, or while you're cooking. But I figured because it's humid up here up north, I just didn't want it to get all like crystallized and just be like one solid chunk of salt. So I grabbed one of these, and I'm going to have to work at grinding some pepper. I'm not going to fill it up obviously because I'll be here all day. But I'm really happy that I found that, and it's neutral, so perfect for my kitchen. At Easter time, we visited some family, and they have a TK Maxx where they are, and I don't have that where I live. So I got these little glass bottles. I plan on playing with some infused oil, maybe, or maybe I'll just do one vinegar, one olive oil. We'll see, maybe one with like a sprig of herbs in it. I'm gonna play with that. So I'm thinking I might use that little basket to put by the stove to sort of have all these quick, easy grab and go things, so it's all sort of collected together and doesn't feel so messy. Or I'm thinking that I can put, you know, the plates and cutlery in it and sauces and things, so that, you know, every night when the kids set the table, it's just they carry that one basket over, and then they can, you know, set the table for me easily. 1 second, I'm saying, I forgot something. Oh yes, I got these from TK Maxx as well. I love this. My kitchen has a lot of natural, you know, timber in it, real timber. It's not melamine. Melamine? Laminate. Same thing, plastic. And I just love the gold because I do have gold little knobby things on my kitchen. So I got these on sale too, and I'm really happy with them. Love it. What else did I find? Oh yes, that's right. Remember that whisk? If you've been in my kitchen before, like way back when I started, you saw me using this manky old whisk that was dying a slow, non-painful death because I refused to let it die because it's still in my cupboard. I replaced it, and it's broke. The new one is already broken. So it's like, why don't I even bother? Okay, for now I've decided to put this basket beside my stove top instead of leaving it for the kids to set the table, because I've just got all this stuff I want to put to the side so it looks organized and not so messy and cluttered. Now, the other thing that I've been doing is finding some bargains on Facebook Marketplace. So this little bread box I got for 20 bucks. It's like acacia wood. I looked on their Maya website because the lady mentioned where she got it from, and it was like an $80 bread box that I would not have bought full price or new, like at all, but 20 bucks. Sure, I'll try that. Now, the last thing that I have collected since I filmed last are these little timber little bar stools for the breakfast bar for the kids. They absolutely love sitting up here while we, you know, make breakfast together or having a quick snack after school. I love the, is it they call that tread? What do they call that? Like the timber, like the knobbly bits? That's the professional term, I believe. Wood turned little stooly things. Anyway, it is a different color to my real kitchen timber. I know that, but I still love them. I'm thinking of painting them, but what do you think? I feel bad painting real timber. Thoughts? Now that I've shared with you some little kitchen updates, we're going to start in the kitchen. So we're going to make a warm, spicy, smoky, homemade barbecue sauce to go with our breakfast burritos, just to add a little bit of something, a little bit of something different. Hopefully the kids will like it. So we're gonna go put some liquid smoke aside in a measuring cup, and then I'm going to do all the dry ingredients in this one. So I'll link a recipe below that I've tweaked. So I'm just using a teaspoon measure there, but I'm sort of measuring out half teaspoons and quarter teaspoons here and there. So I've got salt, pepper, dry mustard powder. There is quite a few spices in this recipe, but I was happy to make it because I had everything on hand. So you can omit and substitute where you see fit. So there is cayenne pepper, that's ground chili. I think it asked for like half a teaspoon, but like my kids will think that their mouth is burning, so I did like 2 shakes. If only my teaspoon would fit inside these little jars, that would be so handy. It doesn't. So I was going to use the end of my teaspoon to break that up. I just stuck my finger in there. Okay, so onion powder. What have we got? Some nutmeg. Do you ever keep like fresh whole like nutmeg on hand and like grate it when you need it? I've never done that before, so I probably should try. Keep my spices a bit fresher. What have I got here? Some allspice. Next up, we've got some ground cinnamon and some ground ginger as well. I've also got half a cup of brown sugar put aside. There's all of our dry spices ready to go. We're going to dice up an onion and go ahead and add that to a pan with some preheated with some oil. You can even use like butter if you wanted to as well to add some flavor. While the onion is caramelizing, I'm going to chop our Kent pumpkin into little cubes, and we're going to make a warm roast pumpkin lentil feta cheese salad that you can make ahead and take to work. These pumpkins were $1 a kilo this week, which is why I have based this week's work lunches from this ingredient, and that's how I've been trying to save my family some money lately, is just shopping by what is on special and creating meals around those items. We're going to cube up those pumpkins, chatting away there, season with olive oil, salt and pepper, and then throw them in the oven to soften. So we're going to double back to our warm, spicy barbecue sauce, adding in our herbs and spices first and cooking those off until they are nice and fragrant. I had forgotten to add in apple cider vinegar in with my wet ingredients too, so I'm just adding a splash of that to the liquid smoke that I added earlier. Now keep stirring your herbs and spices because you don't want them to burn or to stick to the base of your saucepan. So once that has cooked off and it's beautifully fragrant, I'm just going to add in my liquid smoke and the apple cider vinegar. 2 cans of diced, or you could use crushed tomatoes. Add in your brown sugar. And you know I don't like to waste food, so I'm going to run some water through these cans and my measuring cup, which had a little bit of liquid smoke stuck to the bottom, and I'm just going to add that back into the pan. I'm just going to turn the heat down on low and let that bubble away, partially covered in the background, while we move on to the next meal, which is going to be a creamy ham and potato soup. Normally, if I'm making a few recipes at once, I would dice up, all of the onions for all of the recipes and then just use up what I needed to. But I was anticipating having to pause and then go and pick up the kids from school. But my husband's doing that today. So we're just going to keep on cracking. So we're going to brown off some onion and some ham steaks in that heavy based pot that you saw me brought over earlier, and let that cook away until we're ready to serve dinner. While our onions are softening up, we're going to go ahead and cube some ham steaks to add to this soup. You could use a ham hock as well if you would prefer, like a smokier flavor. I was happy to just go ahead and use this. Now, if this is your first time in my kitchen, you may be noticing that I don't always follow a recipe. I kind of just do what I think would taste good. So I might blend a couple of recipes together, or I might just try something that my brainchild just comes up with. So I'm a bit sort of loosey-goosey when it comes to cooking in my kitchen. No hard and fast rules, because I just find that a lot easier and less stressful. So if I don't have ingredients, like, it's no big deal, I'll just substitute or do what I think will taste good. So we're going to add in some veggies, and you can just use this as an opportunity to clean out your fridge of any little bits and bobs of things that need to be used up before they go bad. And that way this recipe will sort of never get stale and boring, because it will taste slightly different depending on what vegetables that you do add in. So I'm just giving the barbecue sauce a quick stir every now and then too, to make sure it's thickening up nicely. To thicken up our creamy ham soup, we're going to add in some plain flour, and we're going to cook that off so we don't have that floury flavor. Add in 1 cup of chicken bone broth. If you don't have that, just add 1 cup of water and a chicken stock cube, or enough chicken stock powder to convert that water into chicken stock. Add 2 cups of milk and then stir that really well while we get that up to heat, to then put on simmer in the background, just like our barbecue sauce. We're going to prep our bacon to make our breakfast burritos. I'm just going to bake a couple of trays of those until they're nice and crispy. Next up, we're going to rinse and strain our brown lentils and pop them aside, ready to add to our salad. The base of the salad is just going to be mixed leaves, so you can toss this with some olive oil and salt and pepper, and you can flavor it with garlic powder, onion powder if you wanted to. I'm just keeping it really simple because I've got baby in the background calling out for me. So I'm just going to make a bed of this, and I've got some finely sliced red onion in the background there. I've got some feta, some Danish feta that I've got ready put aside, and some balsamic glaze as well. Go ahead and sprinkle over your warm roasted pumpkin. I thought another variation on this recipe might be nice would be tossing this with some maple syrup as well, and then some crispy bacon. So it'd be like a maple bacon roast pumpkin. I thought that would be really nice. I was meaning to roast up some walnuts and sprinkle some pepitas, but I got distracted by the baby, to be honest. I love the color of these little beetroot leaves with the purple and the lilac. It just adds a little bit of interest to the salad too, and it sort of complements the red onion that we'll be adding in as well. Makes it nice and pretty to look at while you're eating it. Why does crumbling feta feel so therapeutic? I really enjoyed this salad. Other ways that I ate it this week was adding like half an avocado to it. You can add some flaked tuna, or if you're also serving it warm with some hard-boiled eggs, or even like a soft-boiled egg with some crispy bacon would be nice too. I like sort of rotating through the protein elements that I add to it, so they're not like I don't get bored with my lunch for the week. It's like the same but different, right? What do you think? Would you enjoy a warm salad like this on a lunch break? Let me know below. What would you add to this so that you wouldn't get bored with your work lunch for the week? Now that our soup is almost ready, I'm just going to add in some nice bright green peas just to add a bit of color. While those peas are cooking through, I'm just going to make some simple scrambled eggs, ready for our breakfast burritos. Since I had some feta on hand, I'm going to go ahead and add a sprinkle to my soup. And it's all done. Now the last thing we're going to prepare today is our breakfast burritos. Don't mind the alfoil flying all over the place. It's a very windy autumn day. So I've gone ahead and I've just torn up 10 pieces of alfoil ready to go. I've got my smoky, sweet, spicy barbecue sauce. So I'm just going to slather that on each burrito so that it isn't dry once it cooks after being frozen. I feel like this makes a difference, having a sauce in your burrito. I'm just going to go ahead and layer in our scrambled eggs. I'm going to use up the rest of our feta cheese because you know I don't like wasting food. If you are conscious of your grocery budget, I will link a video below which gives lots of tips on how to stick to your grocery budget every single week. Now that our burrito is full, I'm going to go ahead and wrap those edges up and get them ready to stick in a sandwich bag to stick in the freezer. And I'm going to go ahead and do that 9 more times. I felt like I just needed to cozy on up with an Earl Grey tea now that the baby is finally asleep. So it's been a little while since I last filmed. It's been 2 months I think since I posted my last video, just while I'm filming this video, and that is because, to be honest, I have been, what's the word, like treading water. I'm just doing okay, you know, like just surviving, not so much thriving. And that is due to a few things. So my husband got a new job. I went back to work just after having my 3rd baby. So there's been lots of changes happening at home. Things can just, get on top of you, topple on top of you. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, it's exhausting. I've had a teething baby. I got the stomach flu. I never realized how bad the stomach flu was. Like, when I've had people say before, like, I've had the flu and like they've been mums, I'm like, I know it's bad, right? Like, you know it's bad. But it was the the worst, like the sickest that I've ever felt my whole entire life. Like in my 37 years of life, I felt like I have never been so sick. And like when I was discharged from hospital with my 3rd baby, I came home to a house where my middle child tested positive for coronavirus, and then we all got really sick. The baby was fine, but like this felt even more sick than that. It took me weeks to get over it, and in those weeks, you know, my husband got it, and then my eldest got it, and then my middle child got it. The baby was a bit sniffly and a bit snotty and fussy, but he didn't get completely ill like I got, but it was so bad. And then what happened? I returned to work, and then I think we all got sick again, and then, you know, we braked for Easter. So there's just been a few things that have been happening in the background. So I just wanted to say, like, hey, I'm still here. I haven't like deleted, you know, my account off of YouTube or anything. If you're wondering where I've been, I just wanted to let you know that we are okay. We're doing all right. We're doing better than what we were. And I hope to get back into a routine of filming and editing and posting more often. I'm thinking that I might have to commit to a schedule of every fortnight until I get back on my feet. So anyway, I just wanted to do a roundup of where we are at and what the near future looks like for my channel. And that's all the updates that I have for you today. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. If you want to see our life here on the coast in North Queensland, I will see you in my next video. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.